This is 13 Minutes. I'm Elliot Reeves. My guest today is Matt Brown. Matt, it's brilliant to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Hey Elliot, great to be here. I'm,
It's an
I'm
absolute pleasure.
oh gosh, I'm absolutely loving the setup that you have. It's come a long way since I was in that room with you some years ago. So yeah, I'm absolutely.
Thank you very much. No, I do appreciate that. It's been a long time since we've seen each other in person, so I'm really looking forward to finally catching up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So for the benefit of anyone watching, where are you just now, Matt?
Yeah, so I'm in Marbella in Spain at the moment, and I've been here through the lockdown. I live here. I've been here for the last 2.5 years. So it's been a very interesting place to experience this situation because Spain have reacted to it quite extremely, as
Mm-hmm.
you've heard in the news.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been pretty restricted in terms of what we can do. We're not allowed to kind of go out and exercise and things like that, albeit the restrictions are starting to ease up now, and we've gone into phase 2, I think.
Right. Okay. We'll explore, how you've been sort of managing yourself during the lockdown period. But before we get to there, if you can just give a rough summary or kind of bio as to who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So who I am, it's a really good question, which I've been exploring pretty deeply from a spiritual perspective. But for the sake of this interview, I'm a transformational coach, and I work with a range of wonderful people from all over the world to liberate them from the limiting thinking and to essentially enrich their lives. And so I
I like
work
it.
with individuals and groups online, as well as I'm hosting my first retreat actually this weekend.
Wow. Great stuff. In what way does a transformational coach differ to a life coach?
Yeah, good question. I think when it comes to coaching, really the difference is how that person chooses to interact with their clients, and also what sort of label they resonate with most.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've never really resonated with the term life coach, and albeit I could say that's what I do, but I've got to a stage now actually in my profession and my career where I don't resonate with any labels at all,
Mm.
and they're really limiting in many ways because I'll have my own definition for what a transformational coach is, and then other people will have their definition and interpretation of what that is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to really understand what it is, the kind of work that I do, is to experience it.
Mm. Beautifully put, as always. So Matt, how have you been managing yourself throughout the lockdown period?
Yeah, it's a really great consideration because it's been a challenge for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say it came as a challenge to me initially, knowing that okay, I'm going to have to change a few things in my lifestyle now, and I'm not allowed to do this, I'm not allowed to do that. How is that going to affect the life that I've sort of created for myself up until this point
Mm-hmm.
into my habits and behaviors and things that I do to keep myself balanced and in check. And so I did have to adapt quite a lot of what I was doing, but I really saw it as an opportunity to explore developing habits, healthy habits, of course, that could I could then bring back into my life after this period of time was over
Mm-hmm.
to contribute to an even healthier lifestyle for myself. So things that I hadn't really given myself time to explore, I've now said, all right, I'm gonna dive into that in a bigger way. So meditation, for example,
Yeah.
I used to believe that I didn't have enough time to meditate, and the truth is that we always have time. It's just what we decide to do with it. And
Mm,
so I focused my attention on areas that I wasn't previously focusing because of limiting beliefs or just feeling like I've got an easier option for that, so I don't need to go there. And this situation kind of forced me into a position where I had to draw upon these practices uh, because I didn't have anything else.
mm-hmm.
You know, I was really put in a tough position, as many other people have been as well. So things like meditation, working out at home. I mean, I rarely worked out at home before. But now it's kind of become something which is much easier for me. And as we're coming out of this lockdown period, I'm now able to have that as an option in my life, which has been really beneficial.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned having to change some things. What do you think has been the single biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge has been not being allowing myself to be pulled into the fear and the drama of what's going on in the big
Mm,
world,
mm-hmm.
and speaking with people and allowing them to maybe share their perspective and their stories about it and the latest updates in the news and everything else without being moved myself by that, and still being able to say, I'm going to focus on my world rather than the world, and
Yeah,
other people's interpretations of the world.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely been one of the trickier elements of what's been happening over the last couple of months. I think in order to stay up to speed with just, I guess, like current affairs, you feel as though there's some sort of obligation to know what's happening, but then that can be the worst thing for you.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess we've just got to manage that day by day, moment by moment, and tune into ourselves. That's what I've
Hmm.
found to be really useful, is being able to just take a step back from it all and ask myself, how am I feeling right now? And what am I exposing myself to in terms of media, in terms of people and conversations, and how is that having an impact in my life? And do I need to be toning that down or toning it up? Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. In what way do you think the world might change as a result of what's happening just now?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could change for the better and it could change for the worse. I always feel more inclined to focus on the better
Hmm.
as a coach, right? As an eternal optimist. So, I'm looking at my own life and how it's benefited me during this
Hmm.
time, and how, whilst I was very appreciative and grateful before, I've found new levels of appreciation and gratitude for things I have in my life, people I have in my life,
Hmm.
things that I took for granted before that I'm now able to do again, experiences that I'm now able to have that I wasn't able to have before, and real simple things. And so, personally, I feel like, in general, when you take something away from somebody and then you give it back to them after a period of time, they're going to have a newfound appreciation and gratitude for that. And that's what I hope to see more of in the world.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where I see things going.
Okay. Yeah, that sort of leads, I guess, into my next question, which is what single change would you most like to see in the world?
Yeah. People taking more time for themselves and having a reassessment of what is truly valuable to them in their lives.
Hmm.
I think that people have been restricted, and as a result of that, they've been able to see value in things that wasn't previously there. And they've been challenged with this situation to reconsider what is of the highest value, what things in life are actually priceless,
Mm.
like family, being able to maybe see your child when your country's apart and there's no way of getting home,
Mm-hmm.
or being able to just take time for oneself and learn that instrument that you've been putting off for years, or the the new practice that you know is going to benefit you in some way, whatever else it is. It's really just a reassessment of value.
Yeah, yeah, great answer. It's a tough question. What advice or insight would you give to anyone that was struggling just now?
Gosh, I mean, I would say there is so much going on in the world, and it's so easy for us to be pulled into that vortex of drama and fear and craziness, that I would say focus the attention inwards.
Hmm.
And rather than be pulled in many directions and have your attention pulled in lots of directions, I would say bring your attention back to yourself and focus on maintaining your world. Believing that if we do that, then our vibration, our personal energetic vibration will be high. And so we will be contributing to the greater world, to the bigger picture as a result of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a good answer. Such a good answer. There's quite a few comments coming in. Ingrid, people taking time for themselves. What is priceless and precious and can be conscious about it to focus inwards. Yeah, it's a really good answer, man. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Matt, this has been great fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you so much for your insights. Where can people find you?
Yeah, Matt Brown Coaching, Facebook and Instagram, mattbrowncoaching.com. Welcome to reach out, ask me any questions at all. And I look forward to hearing from anyone.
For sure. Well, Matt, again, thank you so much for your time today. I've honestly loved hearing your answers, and it's been great just to catch up with you. So, yeah, much
Yeah,
appreciated.
the pleasure's mine, Elliot. Thank you so much.
Take care, Matt.
All right. See you, buddy.
Cheers.